Joanne. So I was so absorbed with setting up Runkeeper. Yeah, I wondered if I might distract people with that. That I missed a bit. Is there a group networking option on Runkeeper, or is it for personal use only? I haven't seen one. We certainly don't use one. And Joanne, if there is one, it's probably on the paid version. So no, Runkeeper will try and encourage you to go onto the paid option. But there is no reason, there's no need for what we use it for. But we certainly have a lot of networking within the club, and actually that's something we've just started doing, is letting people into our main members Facebook page group. So if you guys want to go in there and see what it's like, what the members are like. We actually had a lady have a fall on the weekend, and she's posted some pictures of her cut up hands, and she's had like 43 comments from people in the club just wishing her well. Have you seen the physio? Rah, rah, rah. It really is a lovely community, and they will post screenshots of Runkeeper, of their stats from Runkeeper, just to prove that they've done their run, and it's lovely. So Bobby, always done interval training on a treadmill. Can it be achieved outdoors? Yeah, absolutely. So what happens with treadmills is that we do get good at running on treadmills, or we get good at running outside, depending on what we do more of. Typically people who do more running outdoors can't relax, can't sort of get into a rhythm as well on a treadmill. The people that run on treadmills, the positive thing about a treadmill, right, is if you punch the right speed into that treadmill, then it's going to keep you at a speed which is potentially comfortable for you. Well, if it is the right speed, it is going to be comfortable for you, isn't it? It's going to enable you to run for longer. But obviously when you go outside, you don't have anything to set you in, just to make you go at the right speed, unless you've got someone shouting at you saying, oh, you're going too fast, get back here. In regards to interval training on a treadmill, same thing really. If you get your speeds right for the interval fast bits, then you can have a great session on a treadmill. The same thing outdoors. If you get your speed right on the interval training outdoors, then you can have a great session as well. For our interval training sessions, and especially Tuesday next week, we'll be inviting all beginners to join in an actual interval training session with the rest of the club members. We will be encouraging everyone to do the first rep. So say we're doing 6 reps of, say, 90 seconds running, and then 2.5 minutes to come back. So it'd be fast running and then coming back slow. We'll still be suggesting that you guys keep it down to like a 7 out of 10 on the fast bit, and then on the way back you're basically walking, whatever it takes you to get back to the start in that 2.5 minutes. But yeah, we're going to hold on to that till next week. But yeah, I guess it's more reason to come along to a virtual club run this week, just so you get the feel of what it's like to have a coach in your ear telling you what to do, and to see that everyone's really nice. Okay, make sure I don't miss any of these questions. We've got these coming in. All right, so let's make this bigger. Ooh. So Bobby, yep, and Donna, I've always used Strava for my runs, but interested in the data from Runkeeper. Yeah, look, I know loads of people use Strava, and I'm sure that it does give you lap breakdowns and average speeds. So my only question is whether it lets you express the speed in kilometers per hour versus minutes per kilometer. And obviously, if I'm asking people to send screenshots in of the lap breakdown, as long as you can find where that is on Strava, then that would be fine. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, as I said, the data is going to be similar on both of them. I don't think either app is necessarily better or worse, but we've just gone with Runkeeper because it has been really easy to use, and we don't want to switch everyone over to another app. Okay. Angie, my iPhone is so old that it's not compatible with lots of apps. Yeah, sadly lost job, can't afford you on. Absolutely. Otherwise, record my speed on a run or an app that is simpler. I mean, you can go on eBay and get watches for like 25 quid. That will be really basic, but they will record your speed, and obviously you can just check your watch very easily. That's how we actually started the running club. I ended up buying 5 GPS watches and giving them out to one person in each group, so that they had a group leader with a watch that could tell them how fast. This was before running apps came around, so that worked well. But no, I mean, if you want to see numbers based on your runs, then you're going to need an app of some sort. Yeah, so maybe check your phone to see if there are any apps already built into it. There could be like an activity app, but it's probably not going to use GPS. Sorry, Angie. But I could lend you one if you're really keen to keep going with this. Like, I honestly have no problem with lending you a watch for a couple of weeks, a watch or a phone. In fact, I've got old ones that still do the job. But then you still need the mobile data, wouldn't you? Joanne, what does tonight's group run involve? So we don't use live chat, simply because we don't really want you having to hold your phone. You're welcome to send a message to the group, but obviously in order for people to look at a chat message, then you're going to need to take your phone out of your pocket and look at it. So really the communication, once we've started the main workout, is pretty much going to be one way. It's going to be from me. Sorry, right guys, now let's start that first jog. We do 60 seconds and you're going to go really slow. Okay, like, problem is I don't know, everyone that's in that session, I don't know how fit they are. I've just got to make the assumption that everyone is absolute bottom. Like, that any person in the group could overdo their run instantly if I don't just tell them to go bare minimum speed. So I'm going to have to be really conservative with that, just to make sure that no one really messes up their run and has a bad experience. But obviously there will be some of you that are already into, say, week 7 or 8 of the Couch to 5K app, and 60 seconds is easy for you now. But even if that is the case, you just need to try and pick a speed that is going to work for you. So it might not be your bare minimum speed, but you've got to be careful not to take it too much higher than your bare minimum speed. So yeah, I'll be just talking to you guys and just suggesting that you head off for a relatively flat run, and I'll be saying when it's time to walk, and I'll say, right, got 10 seconds left. Okay, and now let's go into your jog. So go into your jog, and then, right, got 10 seconds left, right, now back into your walk. And we'll just be doing that for 25 minutes after the warm-up. So before that main set, I'll be asking everyone to go out and do an 8-minute warm-up, and I'll again be telling you when to jog, when to walk, and that actually, this is quite a key thing for stopping your lungs from burning, a warm-up. I did explain this the other night, but I'm going to go into it now as well. Before we're warmed up, our blood vessels, think of them like hose pipes, right? Your blood vessels are small. Okay, we can't fit a lot of blood through the blood vessels, and therefore we can't get the oxygen to the muscles very quickly. So right now, if any of us was just to go off and run, chances are we'll quickly find ourselves huffing and puffing, because the blood can't get from the air through your lungs to your muscles as fast as once we're warmed up, and those blood vessels are much bigger. So that's why we do a warm-up. By doing 8 minutes of walk and jog, at the end of that, your blood vessels will have enlarged, and then you get to stop and do some dynamic stretches. And while you're doing those stretches, your blood vessels, they're not going to shrivel back into tiny little hose pipes. They're going to stay nice and big. But most importantly, your body will have had a chance to recover from the warm-up. So that if you did run a little bit too quick on that 8-minute warm-up, then your body's going to have a chance to catch up. And by the time we start that 25-minute main set, you should be feeling really good. Your blood vessels have dilated, and the blood's going to flow comfortably, transporting oxygen to your muscles. So yeah, warm-up is massive. And I know a lot of people skip the warm-up because they just want to hurry up and get the run done. But it is a key strategy in preventing burning lungs. Not sure if that answers the question fully. When you talk about a group run, it's like group, but it's obviously we're all going to be in our own place, aren't we? Leaving from our own house or going up to a park and starting it from there. Obviously, you're going to use mobile data, guys, in order to stay on the call. And you'll need Zoom installed on your phone. If you guys have any more questions about that, feel free to punch them in. Hannah, do we have video on this evening for warm-ups? Yeah, so after you've done that 8-minute bit, you're welcome to So before the run, when you first go in, you're welcome to have video on, just so I can see you and I can see that people are coming in, and I'll talk to you, and then I'll probably, I'll ask you to mute yourselves while I explain what we're going to be doing for the warm-up, and there's no point really having your video on for the run itself, because it's just going to be all over the place. And then once you've finished that 8 minutes, we'll get you to make sure you can see your phone so that you can see me demonstrating the exercises, the dynamic stretches that we'll do. And it's up to you if you have your video turned on or off at that stage. Obviously, we know that if it's on, it's going to use more of your mobile data, so just be careful about that. But if you are worried about mobile data, we have been testing this, and typically people are using no more than 50 megabytes within a run, and that was a 1 hour. There's mostly 45 minutes to 1 hour sessions with video turned on when they're not running. So typically that's not a big deal for people, considering 50 megabytes is like 5% of a gigabyte. Most of us will get 1 to 20 gigabytes on our package. So yeah, you want to have your video on to watch my demonstrations and then to do them, whether you're at a park or in your backyard, and then we'll go out for the main run. So Angie, okay, cool. A cheap GPS watch would be good, thanks. Yeah, I'll have a look on eBay. Yeah, exactly. Look for Garmin Forerunners. Garmin Forerunner 10 is probably one of the oldest models. That's certainly the ones that I got when I needed some cheap GPS watches. And they do the trick. They're a bit slower, but so I just scrolled through my slides. They're a bit slower. So guys, if we don't have any more questions, then I'm just going to run you through a bit more of what's available to you in Beginners Week. And there is a lot. Like, this is literally the second talk we've done. Sunday we did the How to Crush 5K, and that's now been turned into a video and actually uploaded onto the club's website, so you'll be able to access that free of charge on the club's website. It's broken into 3 parts. So yeah, if you weren't available for that, then worth jumping on the website and finding that. And it will be under the webinar recordings or webinar replays on our main navigation bar, if you're looking for that. Okay, I'm going to move this chat out of the way. God, so many panels in the way of the title of my slide. So this slide, learning is key. You're here, so you acknowledge that in order for you to get somewhere with your running, you need to learn more. You need to learn how to pace yourself. And once you've learned how to pace yourself and stop those lungs from burning, you're going to need to learn how to stop getting injured. I'm sorry to say it, the second most common reason, and actually the reason that most runners ever struggle with running, is not because of burning lungs, it's because their legs have broken. No, either their joints hurt or the muscles cramp up. So there's a hell of a lot to learn. And if you imagine if you were taking on a new sport, tennis, hockey, any sport, you wouldn't want to just jump into a match without having been coached how to play that sport, would you? It would be quite, yeah. And same thing with a musical instrument. I wouldn't just want to go and just jump in with a band and start playing guitar with a band, never having been taught how to play guitar. You just can't. You need to learn, don't you? You need to learn from someone. So running, even though it feels like it should be simple, we've all run before as children. But then again, we probably didn't pace ourselves so well as children. It's not just as easy as, oh, I'm going to start running now and off we go. For a lot of people, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of learning along the way. So I think it's a much faster option just to learn from people such as a coach or your own research to make it less challenges along the way. So we have this online course I've mentioned. Guys, you definitely want to get in and get access to this. There's over 9 hours of online lectures in here, broken into small clips. You can see on the side that some of them are less than 5 minutes. Some of them are 40, well, up to I think a maximum of 40 minutes, but they'll be broken into 10-minute slots. So they're workshops that we've recorded. But a lot of the smaller ones are just videos that I've recorded. either me with a camera on my phone showing you how to use Runkeeper, for example. So you definitely want to get access to this. But this is what we provide all of our Couch to 5K squad members. So when they start their membership, well, as soon as they join the membership, they can start learning from this straight away. Coach guidance. So there's a chance that you will do the run tonight and have a good run, and you can't quite figure out how to find the stats, on your pacing, for example. I've got absolutely no problem, this week with you messaging me and saying, hey, I can't find those stats. Where the hell are they? Right, I'm happy to reply with either to get you on a call or to just send you a couple of screenshots or a video just to show you how to do that. We have members that will catch a cold in week 4 of their Couch to 5K program. Everyone else is progressing on to, they're doing week 4, and maybe you're stuck with unable to run for the entire week 4. So literally your fitness has come back down to week 3 level. Everyone else goes up to week 5 level. That's when they really need coach guidance. Okay, so it's not just about education. It's actually having someone to say, right, your next run, when you're ready to do it, is not going to be week 4. I'm going to get you to try a run in week 3 again, just to make sure that we get a good run first. And then, depending on how that goes, we might try going to week 4, or you might repeat it. Same thing can happen with muscles tightening up, cramping up. If you have any problems, whether it be technical or muscular joint problems, I'm happy to answer your questions, whether it be on Facebook chat, text message, or if you want to book a phone call. That's what we're offering here in Beginners Week. Effectively, we want to give you guys the opportunity to experience being a club member, one of our Couch to 5K squad members. And part of that is experiencing the community. So this was taken at Cozy Club Christmas do a couple of years ago. And yeah, I've asked them if they're okay with this, and they've agreed to let anyone jump into the Facebook group and for a period of time, basically till the end of this kind of intake, until we start our next 14-week program, just to experience what the community is like. So you can request to join this Facebook group, and we'll let you in, and you're welcome to post if you want to introduce yourself, or you can just be a stalker and check out what everyone's doing. But we can't offer obviously face-to-face sessions anymore. So this is, I figured, one of the great ways that we can give you an opportunity to get a bit of a taste of the personalities within the club. But also, if you do attend the virtual club runs next week, you'll get more of that, because you'll be in virtual club runs with the other club members, which will be good fun. Now, we also run a bunch of online classes. Obviously, when lockdown hit, we didn't think of doing virtual club runs, so I just started putting on classes. So HIIT classes, so strength classes. I approached some yoga instructors. We have the club physio running Pilates classes. So we've got a range of online classes that you're welcome to try out. The yoga classes are £4, but the rest of them are free for Beginners Week. So you can access all of those. And they're all different times, so before work, during work, after work as well. So we have Pilates, yoga, HIIT, and as I mentioned, the virtual club runs. Who would have thought people would be doing virtual club runs? I've looked around online, and as far as I can see, no one else is doing this. We've been working on it for about 3.5 weeks now. And each time just making it just better and better, really, in regards to learning to make sure that people got themselves on mute, and actually now experimenting with people running off mute, and making sure that there's not much background noise. So obviously, you're wearing a headset, typically reduces the background noise a lot. But it's just nice that members can now chat to each other during a run. Now, unfortunately, we won't offer you the beginners virtual club runs, because it's just too much for me to deal with. So I'm just going to keep everyone on mute and just make it a one-way thing. But yeah, this is where it's heading. Basically, members are now able to chat, and if someone says, "Hey, look, sorry, Julie, I can hear loads of background noise. Do you mind just muting yourself?" Then there's no offence taken, and yeah, people mute themselves. So yeah, beyond Beginners Week, next week we call it Runners Week. This is when the messaging that we push out on our Facebook page and stuff will be inviting people who are already running to come and try us out. So we'll be putting on more talks which are more aimed at runners as opposed to people learning to run from scratch. And as I say, the virtual club runs, you'll be doing interval training on Tuesday and a tempo run on Thursday. But if you are looking to do walk and jog, then you'll be in a breakout room, a Zoom breakout room with me, where I'm telling you when to walk and when to jog. And then there'll be obviously other breakout rooms with people in their pace groups. And that'll be the same on Sunday morning as well. So Sunday we typically do our long run, but our Couch to 5K guys will do their walk and jog periods, whereas those doing 5K and beyond will be pushing their distances up. But it can all happen on the same Zoom call. So that's what's going to happen with those virtual club runs starting from this Sunday. Yeah, I've mentioned the classes, all that's going to continue. We will actually stop access to the online transformation course. So obviously only people who have actually decided to join our next intake will maintain access to that. And if you want to talk about what that entails in terms of memberships and stuff, just let me know. But there's no real rush to do that. Unless you just want to get started and get some help. But yeah, that's everything I had planned, guys. Do we have any more questions before we sort of wrap up? I am happy to stick around after this if anyone wants to stick around and ask any questions more privately. But otherwise, chuck your questions into the chat, guys. No questions, I don't think, guys. Thank you very much for coming along. Great if you can make it for 5:30. There was a mistake email that went out earlier saying 6:30. It's 5:30 tonight. Please try and be in there at sort of 25 past, just so we can have a quick chat beforehand. But hopefully we'll see you then. Otherwise, we have the talk at 2 o'clock tomorrow. I think that's 2:30 running through lockdown, which will be different in itself. And then we've got the big one with the club physio about preventing lower leg pains. But yeah, I hope to see you later today. All right, bye-bye.